Most households appear financially stable during periods of steady income. But financial systems are not truly tested during stable periods. They are tested when uncertainty arrives. A layoff, reduced hours, a recession, inflation pressure, an unexpected economic slowdown, or unexpected volatility. And when income volatility enters the system, something extremely important happens. The underlying structure is exposed. In this video, we're going to connect contribution margin analysis, household cost behavior, lifestyle leverage, financial leverage, liquidity, solvency, and optionality into one unified framework. Because the true danger of income volatility is not simply lower income. It's what lower income does to a rigid financial structure. Now, in a previous episode, we linked the household chart of accounts to variable costs, mixed costs, and fixed costs. Today, in this video, we expand that framework into household contribution margin analysis. Just like corporations, households operate with recurring revenues, recurring expenses, and varying levels of fixed cost rigidity. Here's the structure. We begin with employment income. Then we subtract variable lifestyle costs. Examples of these include groceries to a certain extent, fuel to a certain extent, discretionary entertainment, dining out, travel, variable utilities. Once we subtract these variable lifestyle costs, this gives us contribution margin. Then we subtract fixed lifestyle costs. Examples include potentially subscriptions, insurance, fixed utilities, recurring service obligations, portions of lifestyle creep, fixed housing obligations. This produces net income before financing charges. Then we subtract financing charges, including mortgage interest, car loan interest, consumer debt interest, and what remains is household net surplus. This structure is extremely important because it allows us to see how much flexibility exists, how rigid the structure has become, and how sensitive the household is to uncertainty. Now let's compare two households with similar incomes. Household A operates with a modest mortgage, a reliable vehicle, controlled lifestyle spending, limited subscriptions, and recurring monthly surplus. Household B appears visibly wealthier. It has a larger mortgage, luxury vehicle financing, subscription accumulation, lifestyle expansion, and significantly larger recurring obligations. Externally, household B appears more successful. Internally, however, the structure is far more fragile. This is one of the deepest misconceptions in modern finance. Visible consumption and structural strength are not the same thing. Lifestyle creep and subscription creep slowly reshape the financial structure over time. A slightly larger mortgage, a more expensive vehicle, additional subscriptions, higher recurring dining, premium convenience services, lifestyle upgrades. Individually, each decision appears manageable, but structurally they increase recurring fixed obligations. And recurring fixed obligations increase degree of lifestyle leverage. This is conceptually similar to operating leverage in corporate finance. The higher the fixed cost structure, the more sensitive the household becomes to changes in income. This means that households with large recurring obligations become increasingly dependent on stable income conditions, and that dependency creates fragility. Now let's introduce uncertainty into both systems. Assume income declines by 25%. This could occur because of reduced hours, recession, cyclical industry weakness, job loss, or economic slowdown. Now the structure begins reacting. Household A immediately cuts discretionary spending, variable entertainment, and non-essential purchases. Because fixed obligations are manageable, the household still maintains positive cash flow, recurring surplus, and liquidity stability. But household B experiences something very different. Variable costs are aggressively reduced. Dining disappears, entertainment disappears, travel disappears, lifestyle quality deteriorates rapidly. But the mortgage remains, the vehicle payments remain, Subscriptions remain, insurance remains, financing obligations remain. And despite severe cuts to lifestyle quality, cash flow may still turn negative. This is the critical insight. Once fixed obligations dominate the structure, adaptability disappears. Now we can clearly observe degree of lifestyle leverage and degree of financial leverage. The higher the recurring fixed cost structure, the more aggressively household surplus deteriorates when income declines. This is lifestyle leverage. Then financing obligations amplify the pressure further. Mortgage interest, vehicle financing interest, consumer debt interest, this becomes financial leverage. Combined together, the household experiences degree of combined lifestyle and financial leverage. And now, small income declines produce disproportionately large deterioration in surplus, liquidity, savings capacity, and resilience. This is exactly how fragile systems behave. Once cash flow turns negative, the system enters runway analysis. Runway can be approximated as current assets minus current liabilities divided by monthly cash flow shortage. And you would actually find that monthly cash flow shortage in your cash flow from lifestyle section of your cash flow statement, and that's built in another episode. This estimates how long the household can survive before forced decisions begin. This is extremely important because once runway begins collapsing, stress rises, financial flexibility disappears, and future optionality compresses rapidly. Assets may need to be sold, debt may increase, retirement contributions may stop, emergency reserves disappear, and often this occurs even after lifestyle quality has already been severely reduced. This is why over-leveraged systems become dangerous, not because stable periods are impossible, but because uncertainty becomes catastrophic. Over long periods, modest systems and over-leveraged systems diverge dramatically. The modest household consistently generates surplus, builds liquidity, expands optionality, strengthens solvency, and compounds resilience. Liquidity accumulates faster over time, adaptability increases, future choices expand. But the visible, wealthy, fragile system experiences thin recurring surplus, slower liquidity accumulation, higher dependency on stable income, and weaker resilience. This is compounding fragility. And eventually, the externally impressive system may become internally unstable. This is one of the deepest lessons in financial architecture. Visible wealth and structural strength are not the same thing. Ultimately, resilient systems are not simply systems with high income, visible consumption, or expensive assets. Resilient systems preserve liquidity, flexibility, recurring surplus, and adaptive capacity. Because uncertainty is normal, economic cycles are normal, volatility is normal, and strong systems are designed not merely for stable environments, but for uncertain environments. The goal is not perfection. The goal is adaptability. In our last phase of Season 3, we begin exploring one of the most important concepts in resilient financial systems, benchmarking. Because before a household can intentionally improve its structure, it must first understand what resilient systems look like, what adaptive architectures target, and how strong financial systems are measured. Strong systems are not built accidentally, they are engineered intentionally. And we need those benchmarks, things like what degree of lifestyle leverage, what degree of financial leverage, what liquidity ratios or what solvency ratios should we be targeting, so that we have an aspiration toward which we can channel our energy and toward which we can build our own resilient system.